My favorite class is race, class, and gender at the moment. My dream job is to be a broadcast journalist for sports, specifically women's sports, and I actually have my own podcast about women's sports. It's called She Did What. So check it out on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. So yeah, just being in the sports world and supporting women athletes. Maybe like the which is just like goofy but funny and like fun, and yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. The funniest teammate is probably Daphne Muniz. She's a funny one. Georgia Rather has awesome shoe style, great shoe game, and then Kaya Eufert has probably like 20 Birkenstocks, so I'd say those two. I just finished watching All American, but now I'm on to Bachelor in Paradise. My major is mass communications, and I'm hoping to minor in sports studies. I'm missing one class, so hopefully I get that done. The reason why I chose those two was because I'm interested in sports, but the communication side of it and the broadcasting side, which is why I'm doing multi-platform, not journalism, which is focused on the writing work. So it has both my interests combined, so I chose those two. I think, especially with academics in school, not everyone is like as scholarly. Not everyone is loving school, and like I'd say, although like obviously I'm in school, that's never been my favorite thing in the world, and athletics has always given me like a bigger drive. So I think it gives you another option besides just the academic side to it. And it just lets you, be free, express yourself as well, and like honestly, like what kind of cleats you wear, like how you wear your socks, like there's just so many different components to it, and so I really enjoy every part to it, I guess. I really like, so obviously everyone knows how to highlights, but there's also a women's side to that, which is called Highlight Her. And I really enjoy that Instagram, I mean just the company in general, and my dream is to hopefully, like out of college, be an intern for them or just have a job with them somehow, because their main focus is to highlight women athletes and women in general. And so that company, which they took a big company and they focused it on purely women, and so I look up to them. I think it's important for young women especially to see women in these positions of power in sports, because it gives you the drive and like kind of a little thought in your head like, oh, I can do it too. I'm like, okay, I can do that. And so hopefully they'll go from the first woman in this sport to like, you know, the 200th woman now covering this sport. So yeah, it just gives people the hope, and just the drive to do it. So I'm Brazilian, so I guess soccer is in my blood. I think it's a beautiful game. I think there's a lot of freedom in playing. I think there's a big difference in American soccer and European soccer or Brazilian soccer. I think structure is really important, but I think also just playing your game and using your talent in the game is also really important. So I love the diversity in the sport, and I love the inclusion as well. I mean, we have very successful women and very successful men in this sport, so it gives people the opportunity to do what they love, like any sport, but just being like Brazilian and American, it's been fun to kind of use like both cultures in the way I play. I think my first goal was my first game back from an injury, actually. I had like been in a boot for a little bit, which sucked. But the feeling was just like finally, and it just felt like all of that hard work had paid off. And like you're celebrating with your team, like it's not just about yourself, like who passed it to you? Who did that person receive the pass from? So I guess like, of course, like I was the one scoring it, but having my teammates like surrounding me with joy, like that was probably the best part. Yeah, I think the biggest part was how much our season changed, because it went from, okay, we're going to try and have a team, so please come back. And then it went from there to, okay, I think we're going to play 7v7. And then from there it went to, okay, now we don't have enough girls, we're not going to play. So like your mentality kind of like just goes down, 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 and you have to adjust to whatever is going on. But I guess it gave us a motivation because we knew that we'd have a season the next year, and we were recruiting pretty hard, you know, hoping to have a much better season than 2019. So I think we came together as a team with the small numbers we had. We only had, I think, like 5 girls. We had a lot of leadership on the team, even though we didn't play. Megan was putting in hours and hours and hours and like really getting our schedule together, recruiting, and so I'm really grateful for everyone that kind of made the process of what's going on now happen last year. I think it's about overcoming adversity. It's about being a sister to your teammate. It's about picking the person up that fell. It's about, we've been learning about not retaliating when someone fouls your teammate. So having good sportsmanship, that's something that Principia is very keen on, is you know, loving the enemy, which is the other team, but looking at them as obviously like your brother or sister. I think that's a big component of being an athlete here. I love the unconditional love that I get from my professors. I really feel like I can go to them for things outside of academics. We have beautiful facilities. I am a Christian Scientist, so I love that aspect of it, that I get to practice my religion, play sports, attend school. And I think it's just a lot of opportunity. You have the opportunity to do the arts, to be in a play if you've never been in a play, try dance, to swim. I tried diving for like a few weeks. I haven't done it since after last year, but I tried it. So Principia is all about opportunity. I think that's my favorite thing, is the opportunities.